We all know him as the big guy on Fox News who has a strong opinion on almost everything. Tyrus has come a long way since he was Snoop Dogg's protector and an NWA champion to where he is now as a usual guest on Goodfeld. While Tyrus is having some success right now, he has had his fair share of problems in the past. We'll even talk about this sad news for Tyrus in today's video, which shows a more vulnerable side of him that many haven't seen before. So stay tuned for more. Tyrus was born as George Murdoch and is known for being a writer to Fox News and a panelist on Goodfeld. He used to be a professional wrestler and is the author of several best-selling books. Most famous for his political and social comments, Goodfeld is a huge man who stands 6'7" inches and has had many jobs, including being Snoop Dogg's bodyguard before moving on to wrestling and then media. Aside from the fame and all the good things that came with it, Tyrus almost broke when he heard this sad news. We've all done something in our lives that we wish we hadn't. Whether they were choices we should have made but didn't, or just bad decisions we made in life. Tyrus, a writer to Fox News, got into a fight with his co-host over claims that he sent her sexy text messages. This was the saddest news that ever happened to him. At that time, Tyrus and Britt McHenry worked together at Fox Nation, Fox News' paid streaming service. They were both the hosts of UNPC. It was at that time that Tyrus is said to have sent his co-host some inappropriate text messages. Take a quick exit, just smile and deal with it, okay? One of the texts he is said to have sent said, "Keep being negative, and I'll send you another dick pic." As soon as this problem came to light, Tyrus was quickly taken off of the NPC show that happens every other week. When the show came back the next time, McHenry was hosting with Tom Schill, but Tyrus wasn't there. The second one never came back to the show, and from then on, Shillowy became McHenry's friend. In June 2019, McHenry told the network about Tyrus's inappropriate behavior, saying that the former pro wrestling king was being harassed. "I love that you work all the time. If we ever had one, I think you'd say, since we're talking about feeling good, have you seen the story about the puppy rescue? We should talk about it on the show. Give me your phone," was a message he is said to have sent to McHenry between November 2018 and January 2019. McHenry only wrote back, "Haha." Some people jumped to her defense right away, saying that women often use humor to deal with harassment and change the topic. Sources say that McHenry became very upset about her growing worry and showed the upsetting text messages to some close friends, asking them for help on how to handle the situation. Though they asked that their names not be used, some of her friends told HuffPost that the news reporter has not given them permission to talk to any reporter. The problem quickly made it to the front page, and Fox News had to finally talk about it. We can't talk about the specifics of any employee problem, but when things like this are brought to our attention, we follow strict rules and don't make any exceptions. In a statement, Fox News said, "The process works because we have put in place a lot of systems and measures. This case was looked into by a third party, and we think the problem is now solved. We honor the privacy of everyone involved." That's what they said. Even though this was a formal statement, it only opened a can of worms, which shows how inappropriate behavior can happen at work. In the end, Fox Nation chose to split Tyrus and McHenry up. Tyrus got his own show called Enough Said, while McHenry kept hosting UNPC with Tom Shilloway. It's even more clear that Fox News favors the former wrestler, because they pushed his show 3 times on the official Fox Nation Instagram account, but only once for UNPC. A person who knows about the company's internal operations told HuffPost that Britt McHenry does not have a regular co-host for UNPC at the moment, which is why she only promoted herself. The person who worked on the set also said that at the time, the people who ran Fox Nation's Instagram account were waiting for her co-host to be chosen. On the other hand, Tyrus already had a brand new show with assets, which is why his show got more attention. It was clear from this whole mess and internal processes how Fox News handles its HR issues. Since Rupert Murdoch took over as chairman and CEO of Fox News from Roger Ailes, there has been constant trouble within the network. Because of the change in leadership, the HR director for Fox News had to answer to the parent company, Fox Corporation. When a Fox News employee is accused of wrongdoing, the company hires an outside law firm to handle the investigation. During this time, the employee is usually suspended until the investigation is over. That needs to be the SOP. But surprise, surprise, multiple sources said that Tyrus wasn't banned while his behavior was being looked into. This made Fox News sources very upset, One person who works there even said that suspensions are decided case by case, and based on what the outside independent detectives say. As the victim, Britt McHenry must have found it annoying to see all of these things happen while nothing was being done to stop them. This is what made her do something that really upset Tyrus. It had been months since Fox News said they had looked into Britt McHenry's complaint against her co-host. McHenry then sued Fox News, her co-host, and a few bosses for harassment. The news reporter had already made an official complaint to the New York State Division of Human Rights in October of the same year. Not only did McHenry say in a statement that she didn't want to file this case, but she also said that she had to do it to protect herself and other women. The suit says that Miss McHenry has been humiliated, suffered mental pain, had her career derailed, and lost a lot of money because of how the defendants treated her. It also brought up the fact that McHenry has been completely shut out by Fox News management. After months of court proceedings, the lawsuit was finally dropped by all sides in July 2021. McHenry and Fox News both agreed to drop the case with prejudice, which means that the claims can't be brought up again. There was no public information, though, about whether they settled or whether any money changed hands. British journalist Britt McHenry also quit Fox News as part of the settlement. Tyrus's lawyer Tom Clare said that his client is happy with how things went, and that the former wrestler is still denying the claims made against him in the case. Ingrid Murdoch, Tyrus's wife, talked about the case in one of her TikTok videos in December 2022, a year after it happened. She told them that the case and the stress their family was going through at the time were too much to bear. She did say, though, that Tyrus became an even better leader for his family because of the fight. She told CNN that she was proud to have fought for her rights and hopes that she gave other women the courage to do the same. Everyone involved in Britt McHenry's lawsuit against Tyrus and Fox News was upset by it, but it also shed light on Fox News's internal affairs and led the media to look into Tyrus's past. What they found shocked them a lot. Tyrus freely stated on the Sage Steele show in 2024 that he had accidentally fathered 3 children at the same time and had gotten 3 women pregnant in a few months. He and his wife were having trouble and couldn't have a child at the time. For Tyrus, he thought that he was the one who couldn't have children. After that, he slept with 3 different women because he felt free to do whatever he pleased since he couldn't have children. The 3 women he dated all got pregnant, which was bad for him. He was shocked and disappointed by what he saw, but Tyrus didn't back down from what he did. You have to get it together really quickly if you want to have kids in that way, and you have to decide where you're going to be bold and take on this duty. On the Sage Steele show, Tyrus said, "Now all of my kids are always full. They all have places to live and things they can do whenever they want." Tyrus also tries hard to keep his kids' lives out of the public eye because he is famous. Even though he's been very open about what he believes in as a parent, the most important thing is respect. In short, Tyrus tries his best to be a better person and a better husband and father to his family. Ingrid Rink, who was his fiancée at the time, and he got engaged in 2012. In 2014, they had their first child together, a girl named Georgie. Tyrus also took his partner's 3 kids from her previous marriage and his own 3 children from previous relationships. Their mixed-race family worked out pretty well for them because everyone got along. Tyrus wrote his own autobiography, but he made sure that his kids were left out of it. The only reason for this is that they want to tell the story. The former professional wrestler often made fun of the fact that 3 of his children are the same age. But he also knows that his children may have questions and angers in the future, and he will be responsible for those. As a child, he didn't have parents to care for him, but he knows that's not an excuse for the decisions he made all those years ago. For now, their mixed-race family is taking care of the farm animals. They moved to a farm in New Jersey, which is also where the Tyrus-Zilla Zoo is situated. Before moving there, Tyrus's wife talked to the kids and gave them jobs to do to help take care of the animals. At Tyrus-Zilla Zoo, you can see snakes, unusual fish, lizards, turtles, and even chameleons. Their daughter Georgie is in charge of bathing and playing with the animals, while Ingrid's son Rhett does the hard lifting and dirty work with his girlfriend, who also helps clean the cages and tanks. If you look at how happy the former wrestler and talk show host is now, you might say that he deserves all the good things that life has to offer him. Even so, it doesn't change the fact that Tyrus's name is linked to too many crimes. You might understand why he's acting the way he is now, if you think about where he came from. Tyrus talked to Michelle Tompkins of CelebrityCafe.com about his personal and business life in 2017. In this article, he talked about his youth and how those years shaped him as an adult. At the start of the talk, Tyrus said that his mother had him when she was 15 years old, and his biological father was around 19 years old. His mother was white, and his father was black. His father was not a good guy, he said. She lived through a couple of years of abuse and stuff, Tyrus said of his mother. That's what gave her the courage to leave him when he turned it on me. Tyrus then told them that his mom had moved back in with her parents. Tyrus's mother didn't think she could raise him and his brother and go to school at the same time, even though his grandparents on his mom's side wanted her to. Finally, Tyrus and his brother spent a few years with a family that was a lot like a foster family. Because they gave up so much, Tyrus's mother was able to go to nursing school and finish. She then moved to California with her children soon after. Tyrus had to move around a lot as a child, and his maternal grandparents wouldn't take him and his brother because they were half black. This was his first experience with racism. I lived all over California and moved around a lot. I remember that at the time, we went wherever she had a job. She worked nights, so we didn't spend much time with her at night or do other things like that. She finally got married again, but she didn't get along with her new husband. After being hit around for a few years, I finally got sick of it. I hit him and ran away when I was 16. Tyrus said that after that, he didn't stop to look back. He just focused on finishing high school and getting a football scholarship. Tyrus went to Antelope Valley College for 2 years of junior college, and then switched to the University of Nebraska at Kearney. Although Tyrus played football for a while, his career was cut short when he got hurt in a strange way. When my gallbladder burst, I had to have surgery right away. During the surgery, nerve endings that went down into my left leg were cut, he said, so I never really got it all the way back. He was still able to play, but he also realized that he wasn't really into the sport. His new job was to teach special needs students music at the level 14 level in California. To put it simply, these kids were behind because their mother was hooked on crack or heroin. Every day he thought about these kids. At night he worked hard as a guard at clubs to make money. Tyrus said that he had worked almost every job there was to support himself since he left home, in addition to teaching and being a guard. As his first job, he worked in the back of restaurants' kitchens. At one point, he even stacked cans at Walmart, in addition to his regular job of bouncing at bars, sports games, parks and recs. He also did some building work, and even stand-up comedy. Really did everything. He told the Celebrity News Cafe that he had always had a job, but wasn't very good at making friends. Tyrus said that his career in wrestling began in the same way that his career as a protector did. At the time, Tommy Dreamer was in charge of WWE talent interactions. He brought some wrestlers to the club, while Tyrus was busy running the Saddle Ranch Chop Shop restaurant in Universal Studios, California. As it turned out, there was a fight between the stars. The boys were fighting over a girl who had already left. Tyrus was happy because he had seen everything. And so, I told the guy to give them breaks, and if they just go about their business, I'd let them stay in the club, he said of the mess. After that, he remembered that one of the guys had hit him. He hit the future pro wrestler in the chest though, because the latter was much shorter than Tyrus. While he looks at them, Tyrus grabs them by the pants and throws them out of the club. He then hits both of their heads together. Tommy Dean saw everything that happened and said it was the coolest thing he had ever seen. After a few months, Dean called Tyrus and asked him to try out. The rest is history. As a professional wrestler, Tyrus had a pretty good run. He used different ring names. Bruce Clay is his most well-known name. He got it from Snoop Dogg's real name, Calvin Bruce. He was known as Gilla and Monstrous BC when he first came out in the ring. Until he retired, he wrestled under the name Tyrus for Total Nonstop Action, TNA, and the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA. During his wrestling career, Tyrus became famous for the crazy things he did. There's the Funkasaurus, a silly character he created for the WWE in 2012 and said he was from Planet Funk. Another name for him is the Mastodon of Mayhem. Other names for him are the Main Event Playa and the world's biggest suplex machine. Like all good things, Tyrus's wrestling career came to a stop after a match at NWA 75 in 2023. Besides that, he wasn't hurt or sick in any way. He was even feeling better than usual. Leaving wrestling behind so he can spend more time with his family was his choice. Tyrus said at the time that he missed horseback rides and games. He talked to his kids one day and asked them if they would rather have him at their games or if he should keep wrestling. He remembered how his kids looked him straight in the eye and told him right away that they wanted him at the games. That was the end of his wrestling career. Tyrus always shows up for his kids because he promised to be there for them no matter what. In 2024, he talked about how one of his kids is transgender and part of the LGBT community on Piers Morgan Uncensored. He told the guest, "As she grows, we'll see where she is and what she wants to do. I'll be there with her or him or whatever my child wants to be at the end of the day when she's big enough to make that choice."